In this first video that we're doing, we're going to show you how to give yourself a color touch-up without using any color other than what's already in your makeup bag. What you'll need is a contouring palette, some eyeshadow, and a makeup sponge. Just a little snip is all you need. If you're a blonde, you're definitely gonna need some liquid foundation. If you're a brunette or dark hair, you're gonna want some mascara, black or brown, and a collection of brushes. We're gonna deal with our blonde babes. This is gonna be great for people who are doing their teleconferencing, using Zoom or Google Meet. This is a temporary solution. It is not something that's gonna last more than a shampoo. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take a look at Rose. Rose has a lot of dark hair underneath. So we're gonna show you how to give yourself that blonde touch-up if your hair is dark, or if your hair is gray. We're gonna start with our liquid foundation in this case. We're gonna put it on a little makeup sponge. You do wanna make sure that the sponge is clean and that it is moistened. Makeup will spread much better that way. So after you have just a little bit of color put onto your sponge, you can actually help it along by blending it in a little bit first. And then we're just going to dab it on to the roots that you're trying to conceal. Now, this is probably going to be better for your parts, your hairline, basically anything that's going to be visible on camera or in person. We're not going to have to go in and gut into every piece of hair. We're really only focusing on what you're going to see. And that's when we're going to come back in with our highlighting palette and a great brush. You can already see how this darker color has turned lighter simply with those three things that we used. Next, we're gonna move on to our light and medium browns. All right, let's take a look at some of her highlights. We're gonna see what we can do about blending this away. So the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go back into our contouring palette and our big brush. And the first thing we're gonna start with is something on the darker side and some warmth. So let's go with this one. And we're going to, again, we're doing the same thing. Dab it in. We can switch over to some eyeshadows now. We're just gonna hit it with a little bit of hairspray to set it. Okay? A little bit of hairspray to set it. And again, imagine that this is Rose's part. We're doing it on the side because this has the best color to show you with, but we're going to imagine that this is Rose's part, or your part. Okay? And now you can see the difference between what we did there and what was above it. I think it works well. Brunette babes, here's your tip. So we're gonna start with just a little mascara, something that we all have. I have one in black, but if you have brown, that'll work just as well. And what we're going to do is we're just going to smooth that in. We're only going to be putting it on the regrowth. Let's give this a second to dry, and then we're going to come back in with our contouring palette, and I'm going to pick some of the warmer colors first. Okay? And we're going to dab that in. Now when I say warm, I mean the ones that are based in, they almost look reddish. See, this middle one here doesn't look reddish at all. This is your neutral or your cooler tones. We're going to start with the warm tones because we just put that harsh black on there. Now see how that little bit of warmth just kind of blends away some of that dark? Now if you're have black hair and that's enough, you could stop there. But for most of us, we need to do some blending. So this was the first round. Now I'm gonna go back in again with my neutral, and I'm just gonna dab that in. If you're a medium to dark brown, this is probably about where you're going to stop. If you're a really dark brown, we're gonna introduce some black eyeshadow. And I know what you're saying, black. Watch what happens. See how it just gives it a little bit of depth? And that's all you're gonna do. You can see we took this from this color to a darker color using nothing but what we already have in our makeup bag. Remember, blondes, you're gonna wanna start with your foundation. Light to medium browns, you can start with your contouring or your bronzer. Brunettes, you're definitely gonna wanna start with some sort of mascara. All of these are just temporary fixes, you guys. They're only gonna last until you shampoo your hair, so make it count. You're only gonna also want to apply it to visible areas. So like right now, what we're seeing around, for me, I would just be applying it to my hairline right now because I don't have any part. If you have a part, you'll also be applying it to your part as well. This is definitely gonna get you through your Google Meets, your Zoom meetings, your FaceTime with family and friends. Nobody's gonna know the difference. Make sure that you visit us at all of our social media. We're on Instagram, we're on Twitter, we're on Facebook. All the links are below. Make sure you click them. Click those like and follow buttons, all right? Talk to you soon, guys.